All right, welcome back, everybody. A couple of things, real quick, as we get started here. One is anybody getting? I'm getting this message that pops up immediately. About do you want to continue the trial or do you want to get the full version of Madden? Makes no sense that it's popping up like that because I bought the MVP package of EA College Football 25 and Madden 25 bundled together. So that version was the $130 package. So there was no trial. There was no anything, right? It was just, hey, you got early access and that was it. So for that pop up to now just keep popping up, um, that just reminds you of EA's shortcomings, right? And then there are a lot, but that one, because it is nothing major. I just click continue to trial. I don't care, or the other one takes you right to the store page, and then the store page says you own this game. Well, I know I own this game. I'm not the one that's here because I chose to be here. I'm the one that's here because your poor programming put me here. And and here we are. So it's like it's just one more indicator, one more sign that you need some revamping going on there. You need to get some people in house. They're going to test these things properly and get down and basically catch them before you present them to the public. And give us one more thing to really disparage you about, right? And to really just make us like, I mean, as soon as another company decides that they want to make a good football game, if 2K ever gets the licensing back for a simulation football game, you are in trouble, EA. And it's your fault that you would be in trouble. Back in the day when we had both, when we had 2K and we had EA doing their Madden, I always opted for Madden over 2K. I just didn't like 2K. That was me though. I didn't like the gameplay. I didn't like how it felt. I didn't like the way the controls were set up. It just didn't feel good to me. And I just Madden seemed more open, cleaner, and I can just it to me it was better. And then me and a buddy of mine, we used to go back and forth all the time, like which one's better. And he play me on Madden, I'd play him on 2K. And but I will say this though, one thing that 2K allowed you to do was you could co-op play a game, you know? Like both of you can play the same team versus the computer. It was fun. It's not what I like to do, but it was fun and you could do that. Um but Madden to me was cleaner. His argument was Madden was too easy. And I go, maybe that's the case. Maybe I like easy. Maybe I don't like hard. And then as I've said many a time here through this playthrough, I don't like frustration. I don't like being frustrated. I don't like being annoyed. And so when you add in obstacles and roadblocks that lead to frustration and annoyance, then it becomes a poor experience for me. And then having worked in customer service and things like that, for the last 20 plus years, I know about, user experience, how about making sure that when you provide a product to the user, you don't give them a poor experience, something that basically makes them walk away thinking poorly about your product, right? because once something else is presented to them and the last thing they remember is this very poor experience they just had with you, they will jump ship and they will move on to this new thing, even if the new thing is inferior, because you don't know there's inferior yet until after you moved on, right? And it's like, even if you have the best product in the world, if my last experience with you is a completely utter just catastrophe, right? And I walk away pissed as heck, saying, "Never again, man, never again. I'm leaving this," you know. And then, I used to work in the banking industry, and of course, people jump banks all the time. Why? Because this bank sucked, or they did something and they weren't willing to fix it or correct it to the customer satisfaction. And then sometimes you can't, right? Sometimes you just can't fix it because sometimes things are just, the customer dug themselves in too deep into a hole. And it's like, look, I can do this for you, but I cannot move mountains. I can't do, create miracles for you. And so that, is one thing. And then so those customers, yeah, they're gonna, eventually could leave. But it's the ones where you make a mistake and you're not willing to fix it right away, or fix it so that, it's like, yes, I own this mistake. I'm taking full accountability. Here, this is what we can do for you. Let's make it right. And then some mistakes you make can really screw over a customer, right? And in this, it's like, well, there is no competition, right? I can't just jump ship and, leave, say, and I'm not affiliated with either one of these. I don't have accounts there, nothing. But I can't leave SunTrust and go to Wells Fargo, right? Or leave Wells Fargo and go to SunTrust because Wells Fargo screwed me over, right? I can't do that. I can in real life, but there is no, in this case, Wells Fargo being Madden, there's no SunTrust, right? Um, my only options are Axum or whatever that thing is called, which is a far inferior product. And when I say inferior, it's from the standpoint of the NFL experience, right? Not from gameplay or anything like that. It's just the NFL experience, right? You can mod those games and bring in modded NFL teams and the like, right? But that's not really the NFL experience, right? You can do anything you want, right? But here, you're a monopoly. We talked about this at the end of the last video, and you have no incentive to be better than what you are, except your own, I want to say, pride, right? If you take pride in the work you do and you take pride in the job that you do, you'd want to put out a much better product than you do. And I understand a lot of it comes down to a lot of it comes down to no matter what, it's a business. And you got executives who, in my opinion, sometimes you get so far up the ladder that you start talking to people that have no clue. They're looking at one thing and one thing only, and that is what is our profit margin? How is our stock doing? And that's all they care about, right? They don't play the game. They don't care about the game. They care about how much money the game makes and how do we make it make more money. Greed. And unfortunately, those are the people that are in charge, right? It's the greed driven folks that make the overall decisions, right? And the people that actually care about the game and care about how it looks, how it plays, how it feels, all those things, they get overridden, right? And we, as a result, we get stuck in, and then yeah, I'm on my soapbox. Sorry. We get stuck with a product like this, and then we are left flailing at the wind, being mad at the developers and things like that. And you can't be mad at the developers. You can be mad at the managers, the producers, the decision makers. And the one thing that I get mad is the lack of proper QA. When you're putting out a product that has so many flaws and so many things that are wrong with it that haven't been properly tested and vetted, it's that says something totally about you. And it's to the point of being so irritating because it's like, man, what if a bank did this, put out a new product or updated their bill pay, and then all of a sudden every other payment goes to the wrong vendor because they didn't properly QA it and vet it and test it before kicking it out to the public. Can you imagine the poop storm that would happen? And that is, granted, you are playing with people's livelihoods and money at this point, but you are playing with people's money here. People shell out good money to play a game that they want a good experience for, and you don't care about that. Yet you keep trying to figure out ways to get more of their money. And the reason we keep putting out good money is because we have no other choice. We have nothing else to turn to. So you have us over a barrel, and you get there on camera and you talk about, whoa, this, and you put out all this propaganda about how much better it is. And we're sitting here and we don't see it. And then you get frustrated because we bash you, and it's like, well, we wouldn't bash you if you actually did a proper job. And people call for boycotts back in the past, things like that. That was never going to happen. There are too many people infatuated and in love with the game that a boycott would ever happen or affect anything. Granted, the review bomb really was effective and did create some change there, right? And it really got to the point where it's like, it was a smack over the head for EA. Like, we got to do something. But that's because of the negative publicity of the review bombs, right? Not because they they really wanted to. And if a company tells you, yeah, because we care, they're lying to you. It is, in fact, a straight up lie. They don't care. Who cares? The usability team, the user experience team, they're usually about the same. And then your PR team, your marketing team, and not really your marketing, but the public relations team, they care. And your developers really do care because, hey, it's their product. They want you to like the thing they do. This is art that they are creating. This is their art. They want you to like it. So it's frustrating for them because they're caught between a rock and a hard place, right? They're caught between greedy executives that just want the money, don't care about the product. And when I say don't care about the product, I'm talking about don't care that it's flawed. And them wanting to give you the best product they possibly can, but with limited resources, right? And then if you don't put the resources in, now, yeah, I'm fully aware that the amount of resources and the amount of money they invest, but you know what? I don't give a rat's butt because you pay your CEO $40+ million a year. I absolutely have no sympathy for you. Take 10 million of that away and put that to the resources, right? Cut the executive salaries until you put out a proper thing. Cut the executives, period. I don't, what do they do? They don't do much for you. They're not actually creating the game. So they don't serve a purpose that I see worthwhile. And then and working in the business in the banking industry, we were overpaying our CEOs big time. They, they don't deserve that much money. They don't do anything. They're just PR face men, right? You can hire an actor and pay him half that and have him go around walking and talking and saying the same exact things because, you know, and then, so yeah. All right. So I'm going to get off my soapbox and we're going to go. And then I'm also going to apologize for the last video and then any video then like this one here, just the last 5-10 minutes of negativity. Yes, I know. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to really enjoy this game. And then I know people are going to say, dude, you won 11 straight games. How are you not enjoying this game? And I'm like, well, because it's not fun. I, in my honest opinion, this game is not fun. Oh, 10 straight games, not 11. So right now, yeah, if you ask me, this game is just not fun. And that is the entirety of the game, right? There are fun moments, fun things that do happen. Just the amount of bad things and negative things that I see overwhelm and outshine, if that's the right way to say it, right? Because they don't outshine them. The bad things don't shine, but they just push down and overwhelm all the good things, right? They're absolutely the things that I see. I'm like, oh, God, fix it, please. And then the problem is a lot of times it's the same thing every single time, right? And then you kind of got the gameplay working pretty good last iteration in 24, and now we're back to it. We're back again. It's like, what did you change? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Find the things that are broken, fix them. Don't break the things that are actually working okay, right? And then, but you somehow keep coming back and doing the same thing. All right, Singletary. Do we want to stop the run or do we want to stop the pass? You know what? We're just gonna we're gonna I'm gonna leave it this way, right? I'm not gonna mess with it all. We're gonna get Trey Lance into the pass skeleton thing, and we're gonna just see. So here we are. All right. What we're just trying to do is just complete passes and just keep the multiplier going up. Mm. I'm not sure why. Sanders. When did Sanders become a third down back? Did I put him in at the third down? I don't recall that. Dang it! Oh, where did that drift come from? I can't help myself. I'm moving in the pocket. I just get so used to it. It's like you just stand there, bro. The receiver's gonna come open, and you throw to him. In this particular drill, you don't actually even need to move your quarterback. Ah, 82 more points. Really? Only reason I do it is because 500 is better than 300. But there have been instances where all I got was the 300. So, up, get off of the barrels. All right, there we go. We need the multiplier. Oh, that was a terrible rep. That was a terrible rep. Mm. What am I doing? What? Now, that was a little overly aggressive on that last hit, but that was a hit stick tackle. All right, this guy, he's a little tricky. He doesn't, it's really easy to get his momentum going out. So they're easy to push him out of the lane there. All right, one last one. All right, we can be good with that one. He is. Just take him up, spin him, and then just shoot for the 400 square. Whoop, there we go. Whoop, whoop. Oh, dang it. Ah, my aim was off. All right, to the sideline. There we go. Oop. I'm about to say, did I miss that? Did I miss that square? Uh, Sometimes the aim just isn't there. All right, Mr. Peterson, do we want target passing or the pass skeleton? Let's go pass skeleton. Let's see how you do. We missed it by 82 with Trey. Let's see if you can do a little bit better. Didn't need that spin. Did not need that spin. Okay, lesson learned. And again, what am I wanting to do? Move in the pocket. Don't need to move in the pocket. There we go. It's a hard habit to break. That might have been the time for the spin right there. Feeder planet. Boom. I'm ready. Oh, couldn't spin. Here we go. You're right. In, back out. All right. Let's get. Oop, spin. Ah, couldn't spin. Mm, that linebacker coming over. Uh, it was a race to the goal. He couldn't get there. There we go. I just had to see if he could get it over there. I knew the answer before I did it, but oh, 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 oh. Ah, nice. Oh, last play. Oh, we're still on bronze. Oh, dang. Well, that kind of sucked. Oops. Oh well. So Trey did do better in that drill. All right, let's get the training done. All right, we got some players to update or upgrade. Xavier Gibson. Never really got a chance here with the Cowboys. Couldn't find a trade partner because I would have traded him. Because he came over in a trade, and if I could have found someone to trade him to for like, and I probably could have found, someone that was willing to, flip me a seventh round or sixth round pick for him. Um, I think complacency and laziness kept me from doing it. You know what I mean? I just didn't feel like trying to search for a team that was in need of a receiver, right? Playoff picture. Real quick here before we jump into that game. We are the number one seed. Seattle's number two. Green Bay's three. And Tampa is four. And then over on the AFC side, Bills, Colts number two seed. KC number three. And the Steelers are number four. Texans are still making a run of it. I can't remember if it's this one. I'll have to check to see who the coach is for the Texans. Because if I'm not mistaken, after season one, where they went either 8-9 or something like that. So don't hold me to this. But I thought they fired their coach, and so I think they have a whole different coach now. This might not be the playthrough that I'm thinking of. See what happens when you have multiple playthroughs going through. It's hard to keep track of all the movements of other teams and everything like that. So I not extreme, not very. Let's see. Wait, real quick here. Um, where is it? Where would it be? Stats and awards, and then we can look at coach stats, or we can look here. Legacy leaderboard. Right. It might have been easier to go the other way. So that's us. Bulls. All we do is look for the Texans. Since it's a relatively new coach, there it is. You see who the coach is right now? L. Booker. I don't know who the heck that is. It is. It's like I don't understand the firing. That logic doesn't make sense to me. Just because your team was doing okay, Yeah, your team was doing great. As a matter of fact, you slightly losing season 8 and 9 or something like that, but you just fired your coach just like that. Boom. So that didn't make sense to me. All right. So to me, that was like kind of harsh. And then yes, I do have coach firing on.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. And they've lost three straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess. They could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost three straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys.
Well, down on the field, they're all thinking the same thing that they do every week, Charles. All the work, all the preparation over the past week, it all leads up to these next four quarters.
It's suspenseful now, Brandon, but once that ball is kicked, that thought will go out the window. From then on, it's just time to execute and fight for a win.
All right. Execute and fight for a win. So they've lost three straight. Interesting. So we're trying to make it four. Come on, boys. All right, 10-0 at the end of the first. Let's see what happens. Madden has a way of saying, okay, now we're going to recorrect that and make it closer. It is just the logic. Whatever they're doing is the logic. Rarely do you see, and there was a time back when they talked about how in order to keep new players engaged, people that
For more of the same, the rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
so
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
to increase engagement for people that don't normally play Madden, what they do is there's logic built in to keep the games kind of relatively close, things to mysteriously happen in order to turn the favor, move momentum in a particular direction, so the game's more exciting, funner. I'm not gonna say funner to play. I hate that word funner, but more fun to play. But I just don't happen to agree that a mysterious fumble out of the blue, or the defender out of position all of a sudden is somehow in position, and picks the ball off or something like that, makes the game more fun, right? Because it makes it more of a nail biter, makes it more, back and forth. And it's like either the game is going to be back and forth because the teams are playing well both ways, right? Or it's not. And I'm fully fine accepting either or, right? Playing against the case, Kansas City, you got to stop Mahomes, and it's not going to happen every time. Fine. And then sometimes it's going to be a race. You know what I'm saying? Just last night's game, you know, I feel so bad for brother man Isaiah Likely, man. It's like if my feet were only like 3 sizes smaller than what they are, right? I tell you the truth, half a size smaller, but be on the safe side. 3 sizes smaller, there's no question, no toes on the end line there. It's like um that you might want to just go to the ground, bro, and then ballerina that, get on your tippy toes, put your tippy toes on the ground instead of trying to come down flat footed and standing up, right? Because yeah, dude, that was heartbreaking, right? Because And then you see John Harbaugh, right? He was ready. John? Yeah. He was ready. He was like, was it wait, John or is it the Harbaugh brothers, right? I can't remember the other Jim. Okay, so yeah, John. Um, he was ready to go for two. He's like, no, we're winning this. We're not playing in overtime. Okay. And you're like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. And then you see the replay and you're like, are you kidding me? Oh man, if there was any way to really tap them toes without coming down like that. And it's like, I feel for the brother, man. Smaller, tighter shoes. You know what I mean? Just he needed one less inch of foot. And then he would have been like the hero, the big time hero right there. But dang, it's like, bro, man, those size 17s. I don't know if he wears 17s or not, but you know what I'm saying? Man, if you were only a size 13 instead of a 17, we would have won. Well, not won, but we would have had a shot. So, yeah, it was heartbreaking. But that's the thing, right? Back and forth. Both defenses are good, right? But you're dealing with Lamar and Henry on one side, and it wasn't even Henry. I thought he came with some timely plays, but I thought it was like Flowers and Isaiah Likely was really killing it. You know what I'm saying? And Worthy, man, come on now, that's not even fair how fast he is, right? It's just not even fair. And so you got that, and Mahomes' arm. You're like, we're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? That's granted. The one thing about Tariq Hill is that he's stout, right? Stocky. He's got some girth to him. He can take that punishment. Worthy is skinny, right? Thin, frail. He gets back up, but sometimes he does get knocked down. He did in college, get knocked down and have to sit out portions of games, not whole games, but portions of games because he's taken, quite a bit of punishment. So we'll see how that goes. But that speed, holy cow, man. So we were checking the stats here. But so yeah, yeah. And why I was talking about that is yes, so the games should be what they are. You know what I mean? Don't change my game just to see if you can make it more exciting or anything. The game is what it is. Things happen as they happen. Don't force certain things to happen for the sake of making the game more entertaining for novice players. All right, 2 interceptions to one. All right. So, scoring summary. Dixon, 16th rushing touchdown of the year. Theo Johnson, Aubrey, and Aubrey. All right. Let's see. So Jones, Daniel Jones is quarterback in. So Matt or Mac, one or the other. It's. But look at this guy. He is having an awful game. 14.6 QB rating. Jones has thrown a touchdown, so that is helping him. Dixon, 10 for 52, 5.2 yard average. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Sanders, 4 for 6, and a fumble. Sanders, come on, man. You're gonna be relegated to special teams. I'm not even sure. I gotta check to see who's my third down back because I don't want him as my third down back, and I didn't fix that. So yeah, well, nobody's catching the ball for Lance. He's either not getting it there or no one's catching it. TFLs. I look at TFLs because I'm hoping to see Parsons' name there, right? He's not blanked and he has a sack. So I'm good with that, right? Excuse me. Whoa. Hey, Osa. Osa says, I'm not just going to give Parsons the sack title for the Cowboys, right? I'm gonna do what I can do, right? He's not gonna win it, but he's trying, and I appreciate that. Deion Jones, all right. Diggs pick number 8, and Banks with his first, maybe second pick of the year. But Diggs, I like that. Diggs is on a roll. I'm fully happy with that. No recoveries, but Andrew Phillips, corner. I think they offered him in a trade package before, and I was like, no. Okay, so that's where we're at. We're gonna make our changes real quick here. And my promise to you is wrong guy, wrong thing. So we're gonna take. Ooh, I'm gonna put Wallace back in. I just want to give him a chance to show himself. The fact that his awareness is impacted by his morale, and his morale is low. I'm like, dude, you're starting. What is your problem, man? He didn't want to be traded to the Cowboys, probably. But guess what? You're here now. Suck it up, bro. This is your life at this point, and you're getting paid millions of dollars to be here. So suck it up. I got no sympathy for you. Actually, I am going to do this, though. I'm going to switch them out. I'm going to let Hope be, and then, yeah, we're going to leave it like that. And then, let's see. So Tolbert, right, in the slot. Third down back is Dixon. Sanders, why is Sanders even showing up in the what's name? Because he's not even, yeah. Don't know why he would be the receiving back on the, okay. I see this and it says to me, make Elliott your third, your backup, but I'm going to leave it that way. All right, so we get out of here, come on up here. Actually, god dang it. We don't need to do that. We already had that set. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Are you kidding me? Burns is not that good of a defender that he's going to get through a tackle and a fullback and just penetrate like that.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
No, I have not tweaked up. And no, he still hasn't learned how to catch in traffic. Kelsey, he is not. Andrews, he is not. Shoot. Isaiah Likely, he is not.
Shotgun now for Lance. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Right now, it's like, what are your options? Your quarterback is sucking. Your whole line doesn't get any push.
They'll run on first down.
Oh God, Dixon, good job. Good job on that spin.
Being brought down 2nd and right at a yard.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
He has to create his own space because you're not creating any for him. Don't give me that bull crap.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Yeah, what really offensive lineman is somebody that's going to do their job in spite of the fact that I can't do mine.
Lance looking to throw it. And he will find his man on the in route, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 31-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up.
Let's see what we got. All right, bingo cross.
Show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full
all right, Fergie.
of what he's got going in his game. You name it for route.
Get out there. Yep. Mm-hmm. Good job, Fergie.
the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
What a drive.
We're going to go back to Fergie, going the other way. Oh, actually, we're going to Sand.
Now Lance. It's caught by
Oh, we tried to get that spin. Couldn't do it.
And that'll make it second down. That's a
All right.
staple of this offense.
Not sure what happened to Fergie there, though.
Use his size to break off
Where am I
motion.
at? I'm at the 11.
Still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Lance going to throw.
There we go. Speed. There we go. Nice. Sanders. That was good job, bro.
His first touchdown on the year.
Oh.
And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
All right. Let's see. All right, let's go. Oh, shoot. Okay.
They'll go for two.
I'm not sure I'm on board with how aggressive the 2-point conversion thing is.
And this one incomplete.
And mainly because of how piss poor they are at doing it. You know what I mean? It's like,
As far as how you're defending it.
You just make sure you never back up and you never
it was like
you establish yourself really
building some logic
put your heels on the
that
at worst.
actually uses analytics, right? It's like, hey, we are 32% on 2-point conversions. 32%? Do we absolutely need to do 2-point right here? No. Then don't do it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that little bit right there, that little bit of logic right there to say, yeah, we are piss poor at this. Do we absolutely need it? Right? And if we don't absolutely need it, don't do it. Right?
They don't get some kind of points here. That next drive,
That makes more sense than just going for 2 points to make it a 14-point game as opposed to a 13-point game. They still need 2 scores either way. Right?
They need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Mozzie. Mozzie.
Mozzie Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
5 sacks coming out of the nose tackle position there. I call it nose tackle because he's the one technique. Technically, kind of the nose tackle.
12-yard return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys.
All right, let's go. Let's get in it. All right.
Set to go once more. He is the NFL's leader in rushing yards to this point in the season, and if he can replicate or even surpass.
That just tells me everybody else is doing pretty poor.
He's going to have a good chance to take home the title. To throw, it's Lance. Outright, he finds Tolbert. And taking it across.
That hesitation there, right there, was me not sure if I should try to do a spin and then noticing that the outside there's a lot of grass out there. And then the decision just was late because that gave the defender enough time to make up a lot of ground and get to me right at the first down marker.
And finish this one off.
Over the middle, it's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
All right, let's see what this one is.
Keep all the receivers alive in a play. Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he...
This guy, he's a better tight end than Fergie. Did you see that? Did you see that? This guy says, I can catch contested passes. Look at this. Look at that. He's like, Ferguson, come over here. Look at this. Let me show you my tape a little bit, okay? Do you see how I concentrate on the ball, squeezing my hands on the ball, bringing it into my body, and not worrying about the defender on me. And if we could only rub some of that off onto Ferguson, right? Then we might be willing to pay him $11 million a year. But no.
Concern, but the extra points up and good. And it will make this a 19-point game.
No, brother, man. There's too many contested passes dropped on your part. Then again, Sanders may be the same way. I don't know. We just have to find ourselves, keep looking for a tight end that can catch the ball in traffic. Either that or a tight end that can create separation so that he's not in traffic.
Point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball.
All right, so the most dangerous thing right now is Daniel Jones and his ability to take off from the pocket. It's like, and that lane, oh my God. Neighbors, man. Neighbors. But that lane, you see that rush lane integrity there? 4. Right up the middle. I'm just wanting to see that happen on when we're throwing the ball. That the middle of the line just open up like that. Because we don't see that.
Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From the 31, here's second down and 8.
Nickel set.
Throwing Jones.
There we go. Nice tackle. Get him down. Nice way. Nice to be there. Right there. On the spot. Can't keep all the balls from being caught, but you got to be there to bring him down. Oh, got it. How did they get it over the linebacker without the linebacker even making an attempt to try to knock it down? Whereas the CPU will intercept.
Jones on the RPO, going to get it out to Neighbors.
I'm not a big fan of RPOs in a sense. And then, don't get me wrong, just not a fan of them as part of the gameplay here. Like, I would never call it because I don't like the mechanic.
This has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run.
Uh-oh. So we stopped them once, so this means we won't stop them this time.
They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
It looked almost like the same exact play. Right. Running right up the middle. Right. It just, for some reason, we couldn't. Okay, we stopped them here, but they got 3 more tries, and we will not stop them all 3. I think if they run it again right here, they just might get a touchdown. Well, it is kind of far back, but our defensive line just will not be prepared for a run. That is shocking. I like that. Wait. Can I call a timeout? What in the... Did you... Are we... What the F was that? He was... No. One, he... Not only was he clipping through the other players to get there, he was standing there just milling about in the backfield. What was that? And again, they ran except all but one time in the last 6 plays. And we were not prepared for a run right there. And because of that, standing in the backfield by Leofau, the ball was closer. What the F, Matt? EA? Really? I'm trying to stay positive, but do you see the bullcrap you do that turns things into the negative right there? I just don't get that. There is no excuse for that. There's not a single living player.
And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run.
There's not even a scenario
For the Giants as they will send this one
where the
away.
player will just be milling about in the backfield of the other team when they're about to hike the ball.
And he takes
One, the coach on the sideline would call timeout, says, F you, get off the freaking field, a-hole,
Set for this next possession as we transition.
and call a timeout right there and say, get in there.
You can see he's the NFL's leader in rushing touchdowns.
But that's not Madden. Madden is just,
About set for this next
what the F was that?
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago. They start with a 1st and 10. And Lance now to throw. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I just don't.
10 there, good enough for a Cowboys.
2 steps forward. Well, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's like, come on, man. Everything was moving along just fine. And then some BS like that comes up. And you see that, and you're like, I paid $130 for this?
After this break, you're watching the
F you.
on EA Sports.
F you, EA.
Welcome back now.
I'm going to probably start titling all my videos, F you, EA.
They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. So from
It's just,
56
oh my God, it's just the most annoying piece of crap.
Here's Lance. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
I'm not,
And he's
and then, yes, I'm not forgiving. I'm not a very forgiving person when it comes to stupidity. Stupidity and just poor, I'm going to say poor craftsmanship. This one makes no sense. That play, that just doesn't make sense to me. And yes, I'm still harping on it because it still bugs me. Because I have no control over that. There's nothing I could have done. Right? Even I could not even get myself out of that, because if I hit the B button to exit, the play would still happen. That play would still happen. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, here we go. Am I really running? Fuck. I totally forgot what play I had called, and I couldn't. By the time I got the play art to show, to remind me what play, I'm so distracted by that thing. Oh, that is so effing annoying. F you, EA. That is. I'm gonna get a T-shirt. I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says F you, EA.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dixon. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down to the 30 here. 85 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. On 1st down, Dixon. And he can only manage to get a couple.
Absolutely zero push. Zero push.
In Arlington with the Cowboys winning that ball game. So they're looking for another win here at MetLife Stadium to take the season series 2-0. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Morrison.
And now they'll throw with Lance.
Wrong button. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. I hit the wrong button. How did that work out? Oh my gosh, I was trying to hit the B button, going, to hit Morrison underneath, and once I hit the A, I realized, oh shoot, and then I didn't know who it was going to until it started coming down to Fergie. And I was like, are you kidding me? And then he was wide open. Was this to make up for that bullcrap play with Leofau? That play that would never happen in real life? And that's the other thing, right? And I know we supposed to enjoy this game. So, suggestion, comment, right? You're working on your AI, so get some more AI developers in there, right? Well, one, to make the coaches a little bit more responsive, right? That play, the coach on the sideline would have called a timeout. That is an IRL thing. The coach on the sideline would have called a timeout. Another thing, when the play clock started to roll down like that, granted I was in control, so leave me in control. But don't figure out better ways for the AI to respond and react in game, right? I always get amazed at how the CPU quarterback get all that air on the ball when they're being contacted, whereas when Trey Lance or any user quarterback is contacted, that ball just goes 5 yards into the ground.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. He had the touchdown reception earlier, and we show you the NFL
We are tied with Kieran Williams.
for running backs, and he's right there amongst the league's best.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles.
Yes, we do.
Looking out on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions.
Oh, God.
And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here.
I need a whole new offensive line.
Things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they get off the
But
defense a little bit.
for some reason, I don't think it matters who my offensive line is.
To come out to this one. But the way that this game is going,
Do you see
their execution overall.
Tyler Smith does not get pushed back like that by anybody. Yet he's driven back into the running back. So when I try to run past him, boom, he impacts me. And then once he touches or bumps into me, I can't get off of him. So again, what in the world are we doing?
Here's Lance to throw it.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Cowboys.
I just YOLO'd that one. That was just complete YOLO. And fortunately, and here's the funny thing, right? Lance has a 91 arm strength, right? Throw power. That's pretty strong. I think his arm power is actually kind of low because if I'm not mistaken, Lance has a strong arm, right? It's not the most accurate arm, but it's a strong one. So I think that's a little low for where he should be. But a 91 throw power in Madden means that ball shouldn't be underthrown like it was. Now this is one of those situations though. The fact that it was underthrown gave it was almost like the play last night with likely down the sideline, right? It gave the receiver a chance to come back and make a play on the ball. And then once he did that, the defender was out of position and on his heels trying to get back into the play, and my guy could just run around him and go into the end zone. And so, but it's, again, it's a thing, right? When you're using a team compared to when versus the CPU. Nice play, Diggs. Nice play, Diggs. You throw a Diggs at your own peril right now. 8 interceptions on the season. 90% of our interceptions are his. Not that many. 70%. I think team has like maybe 12 interceptions, and he has 8 of them. So that's 75% right there.
Operating from the gun, Jones.
Nice play, Williams. Oh, shoot. Okay, so this is where generally they get that they convert this 4th and 10. That was a surprise. Melifonwu, nice hit. Was that Banks or Melifonwu?
Come up empty. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead.
Are we taking our foot off the gas pedal? No. We're not. Why? Because we're spiteful. We're angry at EA. So every team we play against, we're playing against EA. So will we score 100 points a game? If we can, we sure enough will.
From the gun, it's Lance.
Example right there, right? He gets impacted and boom, right into the back of the lineman's head.
In this one, it's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football.
No, we're not going to stop throwing the football until you fix your game.
That gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit, but as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one.
Well, we could if we could run the ball, but we got no penetration or no push from our line. We got all kinds of penetration from the defensive line. The defensive line that isn't that good, that they can just. That was me. I took too long to pick my play.
Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles.
Yeah, you're right. It was a bit lackadaisical on my part.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located.
I understood. I just took too long to pick my play.
And make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
And he bats it away, and it falls down.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or if it's broken, still don't fix it. That's the EA model. If it's broke, don't fix it. If it works, break it. We can't have everything working. Yeah, we're just going to run.
On 3rd down, Dixon. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
So on 4th down, out is Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal.
From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is good. That will extend their lead even further.
Position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And he'll take
Yes, I look at it as a missed opportunity too.
Here's the Giant offense now.
But you got to put put points on the board wherever way you can.
hope that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case.
Did he catch it? Oh,
In this one.
I'm so disappointed. But in truth, he's not should have been a catch.
Looking to throw. Jones.
Throw right side.
There you go.
Down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
McCole Hardman.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
Thanks, man.
Complete. Good hands there defensively. At 2nd down.
Would have been better hands if you got your hands around the ball. But we'll take the bat down.
To throw again.
It just gives them an opportunity to do this. Oh, Wallace. Wallace, that shoulder thing.
Going to him in the slot, he catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to
That shoulder thing will get you put on the bench.
Throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That one tipped.
Now that's
Good hands there defensively.
it is nice. That was a good play, bro. All right. All right, Micah's taking a rest. There.
Just thrown his 3rd interception.
All right, brother man just made up. Just made up for that awful play.
Defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead.
Is Paschal?
Guys are always in the right
He's
spot.
so out of position on this team. I think that's him right there who we're going to double down on. He's still going to get penetration because blocking sucks, but he is not a 3-4 defensive end.
He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
So when you ask,
Getting up there.
why do we keep passing? This is why. Because EA
Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake
needs to fix their game.
But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Ooh,
The ball away and it falls in.
ooh. I don't agree that should have been
Still trying to bomb it down.
that thing there. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. That's sus to me. That's a little suspect.
Work in the middle of the field and he's got a man.
Hey, we're still throwing it because EA's run defense is, along with their pass defense, is broken, and you can't tune it down to make it. And I keep forgetting to tune up the run blocking, and it's annoying that I have to do that.
Dixon. And he's brought down,
But I will take that wide open hole right there.
1st and 10 in the red zone. And his big night continues on that last run. The yardage there going to move him over 100 yards now for the ball game. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Good pickup of 10 yards, and that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. The numbers throwing the ball have been great. He's up over 300 yards now for the game. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left, and their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to right for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good? They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
So after the
We're going to call this Revenge of the Gamer. I am taking all my frustrations out going forward on whatever team I face. So be prepared. We're going back into New England circa 2008 mode. Right? Was it 2008? I think it was. Where they just beat everybody. Micah, you got to make that tackle, man. Now, understandably, this is it's understandable that it's Daniel Jones, and he's wide open, not just desperation. I don't know that that's desperation when you got a guy standing there wide open. You know what I mean?
Looking to throw.
Because hitting the wide open guy is what you want to do every time. So, you know what I mean? It's like, I had no choice. I had to throw it to the open guy. I couldn't find another guy to throw it to.
Now on first down.
I couldn't find one in coverage. Right? You know what I mean? It's like,
And it'll be second down.
yes, luckily there was an open guy downfield and I hit him.
They'll look to throw again.
Yeah, like we drew it up? Yes, just like we drew it up.
A gain of 4. And it makes it third down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2.
Ah,
Intercepted.
wow.
They're going to take possession here.
I was really expecting touchdown there.
20-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get.
We're not happy. No, we're not happy. Because in spite of the success we're having on the field, we're still seeing way too many just poor issues, and I'm just petty enough to not let them go. And for me, it ruins my experience. I mean, yes, 50-14. Yeah. Whoop-de freaking do. Come up with a better product, man. If it was tied 14-all and there was no issues in the game, I'd be perfectly okay with it. Right?
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory.
But this is not the case.
Off here in quarter number 4. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings him
We're not constantly seeing
from the 22 here, second and
Tyler Smith just overpowered by whatever defender is standing in front of him. Right? Doesn't matter which defender it is.
They'll go again with Sanders.
Right here.
Gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
As soon as I hit that right trigger, all of a sudden, defenders just jet in from wherever they are on the field. And it's like, are you serious?
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up.
I think the issue with that is this, right? And then is as soon as I hit right trigger, that is supposed to accelerate my player. But I think in a way to compensate or to make sure that the defenders are getting to the ball, they accelerate as well. The problem I see is that the CPU defenders, the acceleration is a little OP, if not just works, right? But for the user player, acceleration doesn't seem like it actually does anything. And I don't know if it's, I don't want to use the word nerfed a bit, but I don't know if that's tied to the slider or the setting, but it doesn't seem like anything actually happens when you're trying to accelerate. You might see a little bit of a burst, right? But you don't see a significant increase in the speed, and that could be because of a combination of things, right? It could be the player, whatever player you're controlling, what's their acceleration score, right? You know, they may not be the type to have a huge acceleration, but it does seem like the CPU, doesn't matter which player, they accelerate majorly, right? And then even when you're a defender and you're chasing a player, it's you don't make up any ground. It's like, you know. Now me, I'd like the setting, and I usually set, that one setting to try to create as big of a disparity in speeds, right? Because the main thing is, I want to see a fast player be fast and a slow player be slow. I don't want to get, run down. If I'm controlling a running back with 93 overall speed, I don't want him to be run down by a linebacker with 82 overall speed, right? That just should never happen. I should be running away from him. And that does not happen in Madden. Now, the problem, conversely, is this. When a CPU player with 88 speed is running with the ball, the user player, or yes, the user player with 91, 92 speed can't catch him. And it makes you go, what's happening there? What happened? Why can't he catch him? He should be able to catch him. He's faster. The faster player should be able to run down the slower one. And it doesn't happen. So one player's throttled, and the other one is basically running like they have a governor on them, right? They're being slowed down. And it's kind of like, well, that's not right. And no, I don't like seeing that. So the outcome of the game, right? And that's the key, right? The outcome is like, we won. Great. No. Me, it's really, I'm able to block out or not even pay attention to the fact that we won. What I'm paying attention to is my experience throughout the entirety of the game, right? And did I enjoy it? Did I have a good time? There was a lot of nice, good moments, right? But then there were moments that, gaming the system to me is not fun, and it's not something I want to do. But at this point, it's kind of like, okay, so yeah, we won 11 straight games, but you have issues and you have things that are broken. And I don't want to say the perfectionist side of me, but there is that side of me that's very demanding, right? And when I put my money out for something, I want a product that's finished, complete, and that works properly. And because money is hard to come by. We all know this. Money isn't easy. And I'm not a big time YouTube streamer or anything like that. So I don't have anything given to me. And I don't have, enough of a following where I'm making any money off of these videos. So when I put out money for this game, I'm putting it out for my fun and leisure and my enjoyment. And so there's an expectation and a demand, a requirement that the game be fixed and work as I see it should. And then so when I don't see it working as it should, and I see things that are blatantly just broken, in my opinion, I am not the type to stay quiet about it either, right? I can't stay quiet. It's like, no, you need to fix this because it irritates me to no end. You need to fix this. And if it irritates me, then it takes away from my enjoyment, and it adds to my frustration. And again, I'm at that point in life where frustration is not is not something I want to deal with. So why do I put the videos out? Because in truth, this is what it came down to this. One, I play every year. I play probably close to 1,000 hours of Madden every year for my own personal enjoyment. And I'm like, well, let me see if I can share this and see if I can get a following and people to share in the way that I like to play it and what I like to do. And it's unfortunate that this is the iteration that I chose to do this with, right? Because last year's Madden would have been just better. Just because, like I said, in my opinion, 24 was the best Madden I have played since 14, you know, since in 10 years. It's the best Madden I played. And this one has taken steps back to the levels of frustration I had in 21 and 22. Not years, iterations, right? So Madden 21, Madden 22, Madden 20, right? Back to those iterations where it was like, and again, I talk about it. I forget which one it was. I didn't buy it. I really literally said, I'm done. I'm not buying this one. And it wasn't for, if it was just simply because I had EA Play that I got a copy for free. And I was like, yep, this is the only reason I'm playing it because I got the copy for free. Now, now that I got the copy for free, of course, I played it. You know what I mean? It's like you got it, so might as well use it. And did I enjoy it? I guess I did. I played probably close to, I played well over 500 hours in it, right? And then it was until I think it was 22 that 22, I think I put over 2,000 hours into Madden. And this is PC and console combined. And then 23, close to 1,000 hours, but I think that mostly was on the PC. And 24 was the first time in a while that I actually put more time in on the console than I did on the PC, right? And reason being is, and then I think I will do a PC playthrough. Unfortunately, though, the problem with it is the modding community every year they have to figure out Madden, right? It comes out and they change so many tables, so many things within it. It's like, can you not leave well enough alone? It works. Why are you changing this? Why are you changing this? Why are you renaming this? Right? So every year something has changed and they got to go figure out all this again. So by the time you get the modding community on board with the latest iteration, it's not until like December, January, February that you actually start getting like serious mods that come out and allow you to play it. The coolest thing about it is one of the mod packs, or we'll call it a mod pack, but it's just a mod called Start Today. Now there's two iterations of that out, right? One is Start Today that I don't care for personally because that one really gets into the weeds and changes a lot of things about Madden. And one thing it changes about Madden is the experience gain. Basically, it takes it away. No experience, right? And then you have to get a separate tool that at the end of the year or beginning of the year, right? So beginning of the next season, once you get into that, you basically export your league into the tool, and then you run the tool, and then it basically randomly selects players based on the previous year and upgrades them, right? Me being a D&D player, an RPG player, things like that, you don't take away my experience. You do not take away my ability to gain experience. And the other thing is, I fundamentally disagree with the logic behind it. Players improve year over year. Yes. But players also improve week over week, day over day. Every day a player either improves or declines a little bit. It isn't a one-time thing at the beginning of each year that they improve. They improve constantly through training camp, OTAs, everything. Everything they do is building up that ability and makes them improve. When you start, and EA tries to emulate that by giving you the experience, the weekly experience, and then you have that sect, that subset of players that don't like the weekly experience. They think it's OP. They think it's too much. I'm like, well, then tweak it down a little bit, right? And you can do that. You can go into your XP sliders and tweak that down and prevent it from being, well, you can tweak it down to almost zero, right? But don't make it a choice for everyone, right? Tweak it down as much as you want, but leave that mechanic so that I can tweak it up. And when you take that away from me, right, you lose me. And no, right? I want that. I want to be able to tweak it up if you tweaked it down. Set it to zero, but allow me to tweak it down. So they take that out, and they also, there's no experience gains. So you're like, wait a minute. So if my player starts at 75 at the beginning, overall 75, he's overall until the end of the season. He's 75 overall. He hasn't gained any experience. He hasn't improved. He hasn't gotten any better. What are you doing? Right? So that irritates the crap out of me. So I don't use that version of it. And then there's another version of it that I do use where another person has come in and says, yeah, I'm going to do this, but but I took away and, left in the experience gain, right? And then there's other mods that take away the agility and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm like, dudes, seriously, too much. But I can't knock them because they're doing something I can't do, right? They're creating mods to basically try to improve the game. So they're doing something I can't do. But the other thing is like you've done too much at points. So I don't want to berate them. I don't want to like really make it come across as a negative thing. I will just say this. So luckily there's 2 iterations of it. And so you can, what I like about it though, is what it does is it does a better job than EA does. Because if you notice, EA only when they do an update will they give you the ability, how you have the ability to start the season at any point, right? So you can go in there and say, hey, the season's at week 9. So you can start it at week 8 in Madden, right? Well, you used to be able to do it where it did it every week, and then that was a couple of years ago, and then last year it was at each update, right? So you could do like week 1, week 10, and I'm like, what about the weeks in between, right? Let me, eh, I would have a team dedicated to updating the roster, right? And updating that mechanic every week based on the roster changes for that week. Because as we know, the league is fluid and things happen. Trades happen, coaches get fired, right? All that. So, update that. So I would have a team dedicated to that. I'm sure it's not a huge team that's required to get that done, right? It's just the database that you need to keep updated with the player's stats and where they belong. So, yeah, they don't do that right. So this mod gets updated constantly. And yeah, so the cool part about it though is at the end of the year, after the draft, the mod is updated again with all the new players on the new team. So you can actually get like basically start playing Madden 26 before Madden 26 actually comes out, right? So you can play it in the current version of Madden that you are. And to me, that is awesome, right? As long as you don't mess with my XP. And you can go from there. And one of the things I was going to do, right, but I just never got around to it. I started late. was actually because I started late. Was I was going to say, you know what, I should start something right now. Would start today in 24 with the 2024 season, right, with all the new players there. And yes, it was available, but I just didn't do it. And here we are now with 25 and all the issues that 25 has. So I'm going to do this real quick, and then I'm off my soapbox again. I am so sorry. I keep getting on my soapbox, and it's starting to become like 2, 3 times every session here now. And this is what these are starting to become, right? Sessions, right? So next week or next game will be at Soldier Field against the 5-7 Chicago Bears. We will get to see second year, right? Year two of Caleb Williams. And so we will see how that goes. You can see he's up to an 89 overall. He's got 16 passing touchdowns, 2,500 yards. You can see that they are pretty much at the bottom for every category. 22nd in scoring, 21st in pass, 31st in rushing yards. So their run game is having issues. They are 28th in points allowed, 27th in pass yards allowed. We're still worse than them at that point because we're 32nd. And then they're 32nd against the run, and we are first against the run. Interesting. Who would have thought the Cowboys would be the number one rush defense, right? And the bottom ranked pass defense. Isn't that kind of a completely against what is reality, right? I'm not saying the Cowboys are the number one pass defense, but what are the Cowboys known for? Pass defense, right? I mean, they've had some games, Green Bay, that they couldn't stop pass or run, but this is pretty wild that they are the number one, and I think they're the number one rush defense, not because the deep rush defense is good, is because we have managed in the last few weeks and over the course of the season to get enough of a lead that they need to pass the ball, right? Which also adds or exasperates the whole issues with pass defense, right? Because now the team is throwing the ball more often. And, so there's a whole lot of things that feed into the fact that they are last in pass defense. But, man, and look at Michael Parsons 45 tackles, 19 tackles for a loss. And I believe he just moved up to 13 sacks for the season, right? So, nope, that was Crosby. Let's look real quick. So, third overall in passing yards and touchdowns. Look at this. Number one rushing yards, number one rushing touchdowns, but he also leads the league in carries. Fourth in receiving yards, sixth in receiving touchdowns, and way down there in that. But let's look to see where. So our number two rusher is Lance. That's why he's leading the league in rushing attempts because we're not running the ball with anybody else. Pretty even spread there, I would say, between these top three. I do think, though, that we have a goal that these two need to reach 72 catches, maybe 75. With 5 games left, they each need 20 more catches. Not even that many. This one needs 17, this one needs 18. So they need to average 3 just basically 4 catches per game for the remainder of the season for that goal to get hit. Wait. Let's go back. It's starting to even out. Oh, wait. BB is now giving up the most sacks. 3 for 4 TL. Tyler Smith, no. No. Like I said, something is fundamentally broken in pass and run blocking. Tyler Smith just is getting overpowered and pushed around. And that makes absolutely no sense. Totally makes no sense. Steele, right? Now that he's not starting, he hasn't given up more sacks because Portillo has. So that's a little deceiving, right? Steele's not starting right now, so he doesn't have an opportunity to give up more sacks. The fact that Guyton and Martin have not given up sacks speaks volumes. Leofau, yep. All right, so TFLs. Look at that. Micah is back, and yeah, he does have 13 sacks. So Micah is back. Finally. Nealon only has 4. I don't know what's going on over there, right? Almost Anthony over there. Mozzie, we are happy with the number of sacks. Look at that. Osa. Osa says, "Hey, I can do it. I can add and make a difference here." So there's where we're sitting. And look, even Briggs has got 2.5. So we got some contributors in the sack department again. Okay, so I lied. I did not lie. I said I think we had 12. Yes, so I did lie. We have 13, and he has 8 of them. Banks got his first interception in that last game. So did Leofau. And then you got Diggs. Diggs is now back on the scene, playing like Diggs. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people can say, well, why didn't you have the same sort of patience for Bland? Because in every playthrough that I've ever done with the Cowboys, even in 24, Bland did not have those kind of numbers that he had IRL last season. So I just didn't expect it to happen, right? With Parsons and Diggs, I've seen it way too many times. You know, I've seen Diggs in a particular season have 13 interceptions. I've seen Parsons hit the 20 mark numerous times, over and over and over again, right? Um, so it's kind of like, so when this is like this, I'm like, well, no, that's not how it normally plays through. And then somebody could easily argue that then it was broken in 24 and in 23. And it's like, well, I would argue differently. I would be like, no, because that's the kind of dynamic player he is, right? I'm not arguing that it's broken that Watt and Garrett are getting tons of sacks. Crosby is getting a good number of sacks. The only players that also should be up there is probably Hendrickson and what's the other dude? Oh gosh, can't remember his name right now. But yeah, they should be right getting serious amounts of sacks. So you know, even Judon has his moments, right? And then so it's you know it's kind of an expectation. It's like this is believable to me. What I was seeing before was not. And one game, okay, that's an anomaly. But when I was seeing it over a course of 3, 4 games, then to me that was something that was broken. It was like it's not doing whatever. But the cool part is I didn't change anything. I didn't do anything to change it. He just came started playing, which I'm perfectly happy with. Same with Diggs, you know? It's like in truth, I think he's kind of playing and getting these interceptions in spite of the settings because, interceptions are turned way down. So he's he's getting them in spite of. So there we have it. All right, let's see our in season awards so far, and then we'll get out of here. So, of course, but then look at this one though. There you go, right? All right. And then coach, look at that. Look at that. Second place, coach of the year. And then there we are, offensive player of the year right now. Wilbin was giving him a run, but I think Dixon is safely starting to take off. Lance is in the picture too, but I don't think he's going to catch up unless Dixon gets hurt. And then look at that. Look at that. And I got to be honest, this is like the first time this year I'm thinking, yes, that is well deserved. He belongs up there. And then Diggs. And then Osa, right? And then the irony keeps going. And it's just crazy to me, right? And it makes me smile. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. It makes me smile to see my boy D Law just wreaking havoc with another team. Know what I'm saying? Madden, EA, you got this one right. You know what I'm saying? He is a great player. Great player, And I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. I just I'm a little annoyed though because with the Cowboys, he doesn't get 10 plus sacks every year. His best year was 14, and he only hit double digits twice, right? And I think right now with the Lions, he's like at 15 or so. So yeah, that's kind of like really. But I will say this: in my other playthroughs, yes, he has hit double-digit sacks pretty much every single year, and it's always a race with him and Parsons that he never wins. But he gives Parsons a run for his money. So yeah, it's funny. Rookies of the year, offensive rookies of the year. Yep, right there. And then Morrison is still hanging down there in the 10th spot. Defensive rookies of the year. Williams, I think, has crept up a little bit, but I don't think he's going to catch these guys. Uh, Dak Prescott. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. I just wasn't going to pay him $60 million. I was not. I was not going to pay him 57. I'm not paying 58. I am not paying anybody $60 million. I'd rather live through frustrations and shortcomings like we are now and pay you 20 something, close to 30, right? Than pay you 60, right? So yeah, there's just no way. And that was just a matter of principle, not because I don't think he deserves it. Right? He deserves top quarterback dollars. I just don't think top quarterback dollars should be 60 million a year. Uh, Best running back. Yep. No, it's not the case, but this year he is outpacing everyone else. But the best running back, we know, right? And then the second best running back, in truth, I mean, God, dog, there's so many good running backs. Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley, right? For my alma mater, my school, Penn State. I love Penn State. Um, Josh Jacobs. I mean, Kieran Williams coming on the scene strong. Kenneth Walker. the Seahawks found themselves a gem in Kenneth Walker. Christian McCaffrey, I am so happy because when he first came into the league, there was concerns, size, durability, things like that. And durability has reared his ugly head as a problem from time to time. But man, he is such a good player. You know, unfortunately for Kamara, Alvin Kamara, age is starting to catch up with him, I think. Age and the team, right? Bijan, that guy is a star and will be for quite some time. I just don't know if the team is going to be the best place for him, right? This team. But yeah. Mm, mm. Puka, man. Puka just. Seriously? Where's Cop? Where's Cup? I just can't believe Minga Tober's here. And then Amon Ross St. Brown. And then I wish they had a tight ends category because that is like, why don't you? Seriously, Guyton? I mean, technically he hasn't given up a sack, but technically he hasn't blocked anybody in the run game either. Just saying. Micah, best defensive line. Odighi's out. Azua. And then, of course, it is just. Seriously, it makes me smile whenever I see this, and gives me a big chuckle. DeMarcus Lawrence, man, really? And it's like, okay, bro, keep doing it, man. Keep it on. And then it makes me question: do they still have Hutchinson? You know what I mean? Are you outshining Hutchinson? It. Hold on, let me go to the AFC real quick. Look at that, Hendrickson should be up there. Will Anderson, yeah. Crosby, Danielle Hunter is hit or miss for me, right? Like he'll have good years and then he'll be disappearing the other years. But I think in Madden he does really well. Miles Garrett, just a beast, just a beast. Ed Oliver, I just think I just don't know where he fits in a defensive line, right? I think he's just a little small for 3 technique, right? He's like Osa, right? If he ran a 3-4, that's what the Bills were running. I didn't a 3-4 end. I just thought he was a little undersized for that, and he wasn't at the level of Donald, right? But he's close, and he's a close second. But I like to see him do well. Walker, man, Trayvon, I just think that guy should be doing better than he is. And then Josh Allen, man, it's just just an absolute beast. Jeffrey Simmons, if he was playing 3 technique on a 4-3 team, he would be leading the league in sacks. That guy is a penetrator. He is awesome. Just you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Hainsworth. If you guys remember Hainsworth, way back in the day, just killing it with the Titans. And he was playing as their 3 technique. Hainsworth, 6'6", 300 plus pounds, huge dude. The Redskins, not the Commanders, but the Redskins at the time, win the free agency battle. And then this is where greed, this is basically where you start to see greed outshine or maneuver common sense. And then I don't know if it was Washington that lied to Hainsworth, right? Or was it the coaching that just was so obstinate and arrogant and stuck in their way? They said, we're going to do what we are going to do, right? And then so you don't know if it was the the general manager who wanted Hainsworth, but the coach didn't. And then here's case in point in my reasoning right here. Hainsworth was a 4-3-3 technique that was dominating the league and was looking for $100 million payout. The Commanders, formerly Redskins at that time, were switching to a 3-4 defense and was forcing him into the nose. Hainsworth was not happy. He didn't like it. He's like, I'm not a nose tackle. And he was right. He was way too selfish of a player. You know what I mean? His size, strength, speed, all that did not matter. He was not willing to be that guy to eat up blocks so other people could make plays. That was not him. And the fact that the coaches, the GM, and everybody couldn't see that got them to spend all this money. And the fact that, and then that's why it's like, I'm like, well, he went with the money, but he didn't pick a team that was suited for him, that was really going to let him do what he does best, right? And of course, he was out of there in a year, and New England couldn't even revive his career. So that was it. That was the end of him. Second case, second example. And people just don't learn. And Jason Garrett mentioned it last night. DeMarco Murray couldn't get a contract done with the Cowboys. He just didn't like their offer. They were offering him money, and I think they had gotten up to $6 million a year. The Eagles come in with their east-west style of running, right? Around the end, around the edge, east-west, right? And offer him $8 million a year. And he decides to go with it. And it's like, do you not know what kind of runner you are? To me, that was like, you followed the money. You get here. Did they lie to you? Did they tell you they were going to run a different way? Right? Did they tell you something that was not true? Because you get here, that the style of offense that they play does not fit you at all. You are straight ahead, north-south runner between the tackles. What the F did they tell you that made you think otherwise? He gets there, has a crappy year, and then he's out of there, but then he kind of revives his career in tennis, with the Titans, right? Until the Titans get Henry, and then all of a sudden it was just a matter of time before Henry took over the number one position there. But it's like, you should have stuck with the Cowboys, taken the $6 million, and guess what? You probably would still have a couple more rushing titles under your belt because that's where you fit. It's like you don't know what kind of player you are. Second, the last point, because I'm going to give you 3 examples. Nnamdi Asomugha, lockdown corner for the Raiders. Comes up for free agency. What's his weakness? Can't play zone. What team does he go to? The Eagles. What are they playing a lot? Zone. What happens? He gets exposed, and then he's out of the league in a couple of years. It's like, dude, and the Cowboys actually with Rex, well, not Rex Ryan, but the other guy, the other Ryan, right, as their defense coordinator, even called you and tried to convince you, hey, come to us, right? It's the same scheme, same play that you would be playing when you now don't get me wrong, Rob Ryan is kind of a mess, but still is like you can shine in this defense, whereas you go to Philly, you're going to get exposed. And for some reason, the coaches can't seem to get it in their head. It's our job to put you in position to win, right? To succeed. And we're not doing that. And so what happens? In a couple of years, he's out of the league again. He's another one out of the league, chasing the money. And it's like, can you not self scout? Can you not figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are? But then again, does it take that level of being out of touch with reality to be that good that you can't figure out what you're really good at and know what you're not? Or is it you need to have that supreme confidence that you just think you can do it all? And then when it doesn't happen for you, you don't know what's going on. And it's like, self scout, bro. Self scout. Know what you can do. So to me, it's kind of interesting, and that's why we go down this little thing. And I'm going on about this. Is like, know what you can do, man. Know what you can and can't do, and then know when a team is just not the right fit for you. But that money, right? That money, that greed. It's like, well, they're willing to pay me. Yeah, but they're not a right fit for you. You know what I'm saying? They're not the right fit for you. It's like, well, it's almost like that relationship thing, well, I can change him. Leopard doesn't change his spots that easily, right? and, and a lot of times, the proof is in the pudding. The success rate is very low. Not saying it won't happen, just saying the success rate is very low. Okay, know what you're getting and know what you're getting into. Self scout, right? So that's why, and then with Madden, it really bugs me because they don't have the edge rusher category, and that just saying this person is an edge rusher, stand up, off ball edge rusher, 3-4, right? He cannot put his hand in the dirt and be a 4-3 end, right? But also, this right end is a 4-3 edge rusher, not a 3-4 right end. You know what I mean? And then you see that, and it's like when I see something like that, and I see a player go, and they're playing Pascal, right? Is playing right end, the 3-4 right end for the Giants, and I'm like, that's not right. He can't go. He can't play that. And then it's like he's not. He should be getting washed out every play, just about, right? And the only thing that's going to help him is that he should be quicker than the inside linemen that are pushing on him. But it shouldn't happen every time, right? And he should be at some point it's going to wear you down, and at some point in the game you're just going to get pushed off the ball quite a bit. That's the reality, and you don't see that, and Madden doesn't account for that, and it's disappointing, but it is what it is. So, off my soapbox. Luckily, my voice is giving out, and I think that's luckily for you guys. So, thanks again joining in. Like, comment. I say so much. There's so many things you can, if you're listening, there's so many things you can comment and argue and say, hey, no, John, you got it wrong. Or John, you're just way out there. But I appreciate anyone who's watching. And again, like, comment, subscribe. Let's keep this going. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.